Try it on, yeah. I tried to drive away, but my car ain't the fast. I tried to push you away, 'cause this won't last. I tried to give you away, but
Boom. And boom.
What's that?
All right. We're on live. How's it going, ladies?
Did you fix it?
I think we fixed it. I love
Were
the
you
hair.
touching stuff?
I love the hair, Benny. It's looking pretty blue this time.
Is it blue?
Yeah. It's coming through as blue. So
Good. Forget. I didn't have a chance to do anything with it. I just rinsed the dye out like 10 minutes ago.
oh man.
And all I had left was one glove, one purple and now blue glove. It was a bit of a mess, but I'm here. I made it.
Well, I left the bar at 11:15 my time. Managed to get back home after dropping multiple people off at different places, and still had time to open a beer.
There you go. I never brought a bottle of water in with me or anything to drink, so I will have to excuse myself to go get a beverage.
Yeah.
Thank you, Crystal.
I have my backup waters too, so
yeah, I don't have anything right now, and I'm parched. It's only 109 out right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
95 here.
Yeah.
Wow, what's it there?
It's
in
gone
the
up
Congo?
1 degree since I spoke to you and Diane several minutes ago. I'm gonna go get a beverage. I will be right freaking back.
Okay, honey.
all right.
So Michelle is in. What's all fucked up?
Well, Benny left us.
Oh yeah.
So go to there.
All right. Yeah. Just for a minute.
Different names.
It's all right.
We'll get
You
it
can be
together.
Diane
We'll get it
Russell, and I'll
together.
be
We
Benny
promise,
Loco, just
people.
for a minute.
You can do this. Take this and go right here.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Go to the store and get me beer, please. I need a beer. I've been dealing with a lot of family old stuff today, but I did find a document that granted my great-grandmother land in Colorado in 1908 that is signed by Theodore Roosevelt, our president.
Wow, that's cool.
It is cool.
That's pretty cool.
I know. I kind of want to get it framed, but it's like a copy of a copy from 1956, so it's in bad shape.
Yeah.
It's really cool, though.
Well, yeah, no, that is really cool. So, yeah, and my great grandmother had land stolen from her so that Disney could be built. So,
Bastards.
bastards.
Yep.
It's a love-hate relationship with Disney if you're from Florida. So,
Dan Anderson.
uh,
How you doing? He's our guitar friend. We love
Ooh.
you. Shout outs.
Hello, Dan. Shout out to Dan Anderson.
We have your drop, dude.
I got Dan Anderson on my TV right now. Rolling him some watch time, because that's what you do for other good YouTubers. You roll the fuck out of their watch time.
Yep.
Hi, Diane Russell. God bless you. Tell me I love her.
I love you too, Dan.
It's all in
If
good
everybody's
fun.
not subscribed to Dan Anderson, go to Dan Anderson and
Excellent.
jam some with us.
Excellent guitar player. Tony, grab the pink Paul Reed Smith so he can see it.
Eileen,
It's over there.
Hi, honey. Thanks for coming over.
Yeah, Dan, you got to see my pink Paul Reed Smith before you head out. That's just a must.
Yeah, you got twin guitars. One's the light side and one's the dark side.
Yeah.
the yin and the yang.
Oh, my hair went from almost to my tailbone to about 3 inches long today. Fuck yeah. Release the head from the hair.
There's my Paul Reed.
Let's get it. Let's get it, Mimi.
Oh, there's the guitar.
And it's baby pink on the other side. It's not white. It's baby pink.
You guys and your guitars just
I know. Well, Dan
slay
Anderson
me.
has almost the exact same guitar. It's very cool. There you go. Yep.
Isn't she lovely? And our Miss Diane plays the fuck out of those guitars that she owns.
I'm not
They're
as
not
good
just
as
hanging
Dan.
on the wall for decoration, you know.
I'm not as good as Dan. I'm really not that good. Not as good as he is. Hi, Eileen. Thank you for coming in, too. Yeah, it is a custom 24. Yeah. Yeah, 24.
Nice.
I have another
Hubba,
one that's
hubba,
a
hubba.
22, and it's amber. That looks very similar. So, all right, I'm dying for a beer.
Yeah, no hair's a good thing. Hi, Brandon
too.
Jackson. Brandon, look
Thank
at my
you.
hair.
Thanks,
Is it blue
Dan.
enough yet?
So,
I have to call Brandon. I have to call Brandon Jackson back. I owe him a phone call.
all right.
He called me the other day, and I was nuts deep in all kinds of shit.
And
It's like, I can't talk right now. I'm so sorry. I'll call you back. But the shit hasn't stopped. So.
here's the custom 22. It's amber.
Mm. Oh. Fly me away on that guitar, please.
Thank you, sir.
Starship
All right, it's enough-
Guitar Prize.
Enough show and tell.
Hello, Janelle.
Somebody will drop it in the chat, Dan. My live channel. It's Diane Russell Live, I think. I don't know. I can't remember. I think it's Diane Russell Live or Diane Russell Solo or. It's live. Tony said. Yeah, Benny, your hair just looks great. Mr. Ratchet and Twitch says so.
Thank you, Mr. Ratchet. It'll look great when it starts, behaving.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not behaving. I just got it up with one pin, and I tried to emulate a wave.
There
This
you
is
go.
my
It
blue
looks
wave.
good. I like it. It looks
This is
really good.
My blue wave. Catch the waves.
So, Michelle, besides being on several shots right now, what's going on in the Democratic Republic of Congo?
Well, I mean, it's been kind of the status quo for the last few weeks. The war is really close to us. It goes back and forth, which road they're fighting over. The UN continues to downsize here, which is kind of concerning.
Yeah.
Once they leave, we don't know what security-wise will happen. Since I last talked to you guys, though, the military tribunes, the trials for the participants in the attempted coup have begun. They had their first appearances, including the Americans, and were able to put in their pleas, which they pled not guilty. The State Department has had contact with them. So that's going to move forward. We'll probably get very little news out of that until it's actually finished, though, because it is a military trial. So
Right.
Those aren't broadcast here. We don't really have like broadcast news or anything like that really here. So we find
Maybe you
things
should
out
st-
on.
That's crazy.
I was gonna say maybe you should start a news channel, Michelle.
They've got them on the other side of the country, like out in Kinshasa. But on this side, it's just not stable enough for anybody to do anything here yet. So,
Like if you went on the internet and started your own news channel on your YouTube channel, would they come and get you?
I'd probably need to be careful a little bit. But I mean, we do have some like small television stations. You can pick it up on satellite. And then there's some places that do like YouTube television. So there's some things available, but it's also going to be limited because it is a military tribunal, that they won't let the media in for all of the trial. And so,
Of course they will.
so we'll see how that goes with them. My personal opinion on it is, you guys came to a country, you participated in a coup, you should suffer some consequences.
You think?
I do not, think that they should be executed for it. These are like 20, 22-year-olds. They're very stupid Americans that did something very stupid, but they should definitely go through the trial process and be imprisoned. So, you don't go around trying to overthrow governments and then think that nothing will happen to you because you're an American. So,
well, like Donald Trump now is saying all the time that they're letting all those prisoners out in Congo, and they're letting them all out, and he keeps repeating it over and over again. And I keep thinking of you going, they never let anyone out of prison here ever.
You don't get out of prison here. I mean, you can if you pay your way out, but you
got to have a lot of money.
But I know for sure that there's 3 Americans that aren't getting out of prison anytime soon.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, have mercy on my everlasting soul.
Yeah.
So,
They call it everlasting because it's your inner energy and it doesn't ever die. That's why it's an everlasting soul.
So
I've come to that conclusion.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's the other Congo. I can't vouch for them. So maybe it's the other Congo, but it's definitely not this Congo that lets people out of prison.
Yeah.
So, and when you do get out of prison, you are poor. There's no way you're making it all the way across the world to illegally immigrate into the U.S.
Yeah.
Unless Putin's paying your ticket.
Putin doesn't pay for that. Putin's over here buying minerals. That's what they're doing. So,
Yeah.
one moment, I just threw my pen.
Okay.
Just throw it.
This is going to be a fun night since I've been drinking due to the Euro 24 and my absolute no interest in soccer, football. So it's just I just drank through these games.
Well, I'm going to join you in a little party festivities. So cheers, everybody.
I'm waiting for my festivities to show up. Tony just went to the store to get me some beer. I'm like, I need a beer. I've had a hell of a day going through paperwork all day. You know what I mean? Like, you're looking down at papers all day, and I don't want to see another paper today.
Well, you guys are my 4th Zoom call today. So I'm thank goodness I'm ending on you guys, because if it was another meeting one, I'm not sure I could take it.
You're all primed up. You're all primed for Zoom.
This is the coolest paper that I found.
Not ready for Zoom time, players.
It's got Theodore Roosevelt's name on it. You see it right there? And then there is his signature.
There it is.
Yeah. And there's that's from the United States of America. In 1908. Pretty cool.
And what happened to? So what happened to that land?
Well,
It's still there.
It's still there. It's still in our family. I got to figure out what to do with it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. My mom's not doing well, so I have her power of attorney, and I speak for her now, so it's kind of all on my shoulders. Okay, I never thought I'd have to be like farmland realtor expertise now. on top of, during COVID.
You never know what you're gonna have to be.
Oh, and I have to know about mineral rights and oil and all sorts of shit. Like, just this is fucked up. Okay, like, oh my god.
Hey, Jack of Trades, master and none.
Yeah.
Come on.
And like during COVID, we all had to become epidemiologists,
Oh my
And
God.
just like, yeah, I guess you never stop learning.
I'm so tired of having to learn stuff that I never fucking wanted to know.
Yeah.
It doesn't leave much room for the things that I do want to know.
Yes.
It's like I have to pick and choose what I'm going to try to remember. Because the struggle is real when you have a traumatic brain injury. It's fucking real.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steve Spurrier.
No, it's
You're
fun.
still a fucking asshole.
Yeah. I'm not making it into my doomsday bunker. I'm not. That's not what's gonna. No.
Yeah, in Colorado, doomsday bunker, they just go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Come on.
Believe me, if I had any say, hell, weed is legal in Colorado. I'd put a fucking farm on there instead of grow weed.
160 acres of weed sounds nice to me. I'll come up and help you trim.
Yeah, can you imagine?
I don't mind being in trim spa, baby. Oh.
Yeah. So it's now I gotta do this now, and it's like going through this. My mind was just like, I've no idea. I'm so clueless. I'm just a guitar player in a rock and roll band. Leave me alone.
Exactly. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, it just never ends. It just never ends. The shithose of humanity never ends. Hey guys, shut off your shithoses, okay?
Yeah.
How about that? Then you can see what's going on. For real.
Well, we were talking about
seriously.
that during our last Zoom, Michelle, is that Benny and I were talking about how it's just like the volume of shit and fuckery that is being thrown at us on a daily basis. Like today, SCOTUS ruled maybe in a good way. Every time they comes down with a ruling, I'm shitting my pants going, oh God, here they go. They're going to give Trump immunity
how is this
or
going to
some
further
shit.
gut our democracy?
Yeah. But today they upheld the domestic abusers can't have gun thing. They upheld.
But guess what? You know what really sucks is domestic abusers have the guns.
Yeah, they already have them.
I'm just saying, they already have them.
Yeah.
Women die at the hands of their abuser every day. I'm not going to say men don't, because there's women out there who are off their fucking nut that have guns too. But statistically, it's women who are killed by men with guns in domestic violence situations.
Anybody know if you can grow weed in Arizona? I don't know.
I think you can. Yes. I think you can, actually. I know they have dispensaries, so it would only make sense that they probably have a cap on it, like you can grow 2 or 3 plants, but I don't know. Anybody here from Arizona?
I don't know. I lived in Phoenix for a while, but it's been a long time.
Hey, Christine, how you doing? Yeah, no, I haven't lived in Arizona since 1999. And the end of that year, as it were. God damn it. I couldn't get out of there quick enough. It was just way too hot. The desert's hot, but Arizona is way too hot.
I was going to say, you need a lot of water to grow weed, so I don't know.
I had to go back to the East Coast just to go see some grass. I was just like, I just want some grass, guys. Some green grass. Come on.
Yep. that green grass smell, there's nothing like it. I do miss the green. Hello,
so
Queen.
Yep.
we were commenting last night, a group of us from all over the world were commenting on Louisiana's
Oh,
ruling this
God.
week about the Ten Commandments.
Oh, yeah.
These red states need to fucking do, if nothing, immediately rip up all their lead pipes that they're drinking water out of. Okay? Because it's affecting them mentally.
Yeah.
It's making
Well,
a whole bunch of fucking vegetable brains. They don't want to
Well,
think, they don't want to do anything.
Yeah, well, politically, they're pandering to what they think is the moral majority, but it's also a slippery slope. I mean, you let the Ten Commandments in, sure. What third grader follows the Ten Commandments? So it doesn't matter if you put it on the wall or not.
How are you going to explain what adultery is to a kindergartner?
It's indoctrination.
It's
into the
totally
Christian
indoctrination. It totally is. The ACL
it totally
is.
And it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, the ACLU.
I said Christian faith. I meant Christian cult.
Yeah.
Because the Christian faith and the Christian cult are two different things.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and as like the voice of like a missionary over in Congo who is a Christian, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's controlling. It infringes upon other people's rights. As far as I'm concerned, the Ten Commandments are the Old Testament. Then Jesus came along and he was like, no, you guys suck at even following 10 rules.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to give you 2. Love God, love each other. That's it.
There was a
It's not hard.
Oh my God.
It's not rocket science. It was written before there were rockets. Allow.
So, the new mandate was love. It wasn't follow these rules.
Right.
And if you love people and you genuinely love others, and you genuinely love your neighbor, you genuinely love God, you'll follow the other 10 rules.
Right.
But they don't need to
They
be
all
counted.
they all fall into place being a good person.
Yeah.
They just simply fall into place.
First of all, the
But,
ACLU has slapped a lawsuit on it right away. Number one. Number two, there was a Louisiana lawmaker woman. I don't know who it was, but she was saying the Ten Commandments is a historical document. It's a historical document. Oh my God. Really? Yeah, of a phony history that somebody made up a billion fucking years ago and nobody gives two shits about anymore.
Well,
oh my God.
In that line of thinking, then the Pillars of Islam are also a historic document.
Anything written 2,000 years ago is fucking historic.
So.
It doesn't make it a document, though.
Well, wait a minute.
The word document is what fucks with me.
That thing signed by Theodore Roosevelt is literally a historical document, a United States historical document. 10 Commandments, weren't they like carved into a rock?
Yeah, they were.
Where's the document, you idiot? Where is
it? 2 stone tablets that supposedly are in the Ark of the Covenant,
Lord.
which Ethiopia says that they have them, but nobody can get near them.
Oh yeah, sure.
But to me, it's more of a, in a country like the U.S. where we are supposed to, and our Constitution says that we will, our history says that we will, it's supposed to be freedom of religion.
Yeah,
and that's right.
And freedom of religion also means that if you put up the 10 Commandments, you have to let everybody else put up their commandments too.
That's what America is founded on, those principles.
They tried this.
They
tried this
freedom
in
of religion.
Hold on, you guys.
Freedom from religion.
Let me tell you this. They tried this in Oklahoma in 2019, and what happened is like the Satanist came out and they had like a bronze statue of like some
Yep.
demon dude with 2 little kids with like horns and everything. And he's like, if you can do it,
I
then we can
remember.
do it. And so they took it
Yeah.
all down because,
They
yeah.
backed right out of it.
Yeah, they backed right off because guess what? Then every religion can put up their thing too. And so are you going to do that for all the religions? And again, I want to know how they think that they're going to explain adultery to a child, to a kindergartner, without breaking any of the laws, because, you can't talk about sex in red states.
Right. And you can't have drag queens. You can't talk about gay. You can't
say
sex.
gay. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about-
Can't read any knowledgeable literature anymore.
How is
You're going
a
to
rainbow?
explain adultery or coveting your neighbor's wife to a child?
Yeah. How is
Also,
having a rainbow
the effectiveness of it is nil.
how is having a rainbow
your
indoctrination,
moral
but the 10
compass-
Commandments is not? I'd like to know that too.
Your-
How's having a
your
rainbow
moral
in a
compass
school?
is determined a lot less by something hung up on a wall than your environment that you are in, and I just feel bad for the Buddhist kid or the Muslim kid that's in Louisiana that that then
I feel bad for all the kids in any red state. Sorry.
That they then become a bigger target than they already are.
Right, yeah.
For bullying and stuff like that. But like I said, to me, the 10 Commandments, that's a nice, starting foundation. Just like the pillars of Islam. If you actually look at the pillars of Islam, they're a nice foundation. Give to the poor. That's one that the 10 Commandments missed completely.
Yeah.
Is that you are obligated to give to the poor. But are they going to be okay with those kinds of things? I don't think so. So
no, they don't want you to even give. They don't. In a lot of places, you're not allowed to feed homeless
Do you
people.
remember which?
To which I say, "Fuck you! If I see a need, I'm gonna fill it. Sorry. If there's somebody in my area who needs help, I'm doing it. I'm sorry. If I see somebody and I have a couple, I'm giving it over. If I'm coming out of the store, somebody's out there, they're getting something out of my grocery bag. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
you have to do this. This is a must. This is simply humanity caring about humanity, which is a simple fucking thing.
It's not that hard. It's not that difficult.
It's not.
It's what I do every day. So,
Thank you.
there's entire careers and industries built on actually doing the right thing. So, it's not like it's an actual foreign concept that, is impossible to achieve. You can take care of other people. You can be kind. You can be nice. And those
you just can't be nice to mean people. You have to back them up. You have to back them up and call them out for what they are. I'm sorry. It's just what has to be done because time for silence is over.
Yeah.
Time for being a bending reed, always a bending reed and trying to keep the peace when somebody's attacking you.
Right, yeah.
Those days are over.
Yeah.
Stand your ground.
Yeah.
Open your mouth. Say something. Silence is complicity to fucking hell.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is. And vote. Actually vote.
You're preaching to the choir there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that part
listen,
too.
Not only that, you have to encourage others to do the same. I still know a lot of people who are like, it doesn't affect me whether I vote or not. And I'm like, fuck you, it does. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you don't know, but I'll tell you what. Your vote dictates what you are going to be able to do.
Yeah. The people who say, I don't do politics.
I'm the definition
politics tells
of somebody that, really, I live overseas. I spend maybe a month or two in the U.S., so very few things directly affect me. But if I'm going to go to the extent of getting my absentee ballot, voting, carrying it 4 hours into another country to deliver it to an embassy, then you should be able to get off your ass in the morning before work, go down and check the boxes, and get your little sticker. I don't even get a sticker, guys. I don't even get a sticker.
It's fucking rip-off.
What a rip-off.
You know?
We gotta have that. We gotta send you a sticker, honey.
I don't even get a sticker anymore.
My sticker's on the back of my phone, so everybody sees it while I'm out in public.
Right. There you go.
If I can go to that extent, if, people that are serving in jobs overseas, that, most of the expats I know, they vote. This past week, there was a huge push with the EU vote. And the EU had things set up here in Goma for people to go and cast their vote. It is important to vote. And especially when you live in a country where there is a lot of voter suppression, where elections are actually stolen.
Yeah. Actually stolen.
It's important to express those things and to appreciate that you actually have that ability to go in and have this little, it's a little voice, but it's still a voice.
Yeah.
And you should do it.
It's added to the bag of voices that are standing there doing the same thing you're doing, which all those voices together make a very loud noise. The more voices, the more noise. The more noise, the more prosperous it is for us. Because we get what we want when we actually fight for it.
Yep.
The part sucks is you got to fight for it. Now we're reduced to fighting for what we need.
Yeah.
Not even just what we want.
Well,
We've been made fucking, second-class citizens, us women over here in the United States of America. And that right there alone twists my fucking head completely around.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how angry I am about this situation. I have 4 granddaughters, and I'm not happy about this. I have 2 daughters, and I'm not happy about this. And anybody who has daughters that isn't voting or doesn't have their daughters voting needs to get their fucking head pulled out of their ass. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. It's such an affront to my soul.
I know.
And it should be to anybody with a vagina and anybody who cares about anybody with a vagina.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Anybody that came from a vagina.
Yeah, did you come from a vagina? You better protect them.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, you wouldn't let somebody go up and punch your mother in the face, would you? Why would you let somebody come up and punch your mother in the vagina?
Nope, I've
our mothers and our grandmothers fought for this.
I've literally gotten into fist fights defending my mother. So, that was when I was much younger, and but
I was so much older then, I'm younger than that now.
Fighting for our civil rights again. Yes, Christine. Our mothers and our grandmothers already fought for this, but because of these assholes on the SCOTUS who are. It's hanging up where Mom's supplies are. On the
There's
end.
assholes aplenty out there. It's not just the SCOTUS. It's just that the SCOTUS is especially fucking stenchy right now.
Oh my God, they're so bad. It's like every day there's a new thing that comes out about another major trip and more flags that are upside down, and it's just dumb. They have to recuse themselves. If they give Trump immunity, I don't know what the hell's going to happen. Give him immunity. That means Biden doesn't have to leave.
Right.
So I don't get your logic. I just don't get it.
Yeah, no, I mean the SCOTUS leaning right now, that is the real reason that a lot of super right-wing conservatives continue to back Trump no matter what he does. Is because
SCOTUS is illegitimate. The SCOTUS is illegitimate.
Oh
yeah, they took Obama's appointment. So.
Oh yeah, and then they all lied in their confirmation hearing, saying that Roe was settled law, and then they just all overturned it and said, "Fuck you."
I have to step off for a minute. I'll be right back.
All right, honey.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
I'll be right back.
It's all right. All right.
We just. She's just so angry about SCOTUS. She has to take a break.
I don't know. I have no idea. But she says she's got to go for a minute. It's all right. It's okay. We're here. It's all right. I'm not afraid.
But yeah, I did see this week. I haven't read up on it yet, but I saw the headline that maybe you did, that Trump is saying that he's going to give green cards to college graduates from other countries. Have you seen anything about that? It was like so out of character. And I was like, oh, I've got to read up on that. But I was too busy drinking tonight to actually read up on it.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. But the one thing that I did hear is that Trump plans to reinstate the military draft with mandatory national service, using exams for every high school student in America 17 to 20. And to be assessed for which service they should go into and what their military aptitude would be good for. And if you don't take the test, your school will lose all of its federal funding, and you won't graduate. And
most public schools do offer the ASVAB. You can take the ASVAB,
but it's he wants to make it mandatory, and that means you have a loyalty test to him.
Yeah. It goes back to, he wants to be a dictator. That's what he wants.
Oh yeah.
He wants, a dictator. He wants a military that he fully controls. He wants people around him that always tell him how wonderful he is, which is really a sad reflection on his low self-esteem, because you wouldn't need all those things if you were confident.
Yeah. No, that's why he's a sniveling little brat. And he wants to control everything. In the Project 2025, which I've been reading up more about, it's like they want to expand all of his not rights, what is it? I don't know, expand all his power as the executive branch. His
privileges, executive power.
Yeah. And everybody's like, now who's this VP pick gonna be? Everybody's up about his VP. I'm like, hell, his VP is fucking Vladimir Putin.
I have to laugh so I don't scream. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but every parent...
No, I mean, all the names that I've heard thrown around, they're either really scary people, or they are people that have just become yes men to him.
Yeah.
Which also makes them very scary people.
Rubio, Vance,
if you're not
and
willing
Burgum.
to say no to the president at any point, then is that really democracy? Like,
No.
The reason that you have a council, the reason that you have these people around you, is so that when you're making a decision, you can get more than one opinion.
It's
more
not
than
just
one
your
side.
input.
You need.
And President Biden has a plethora of wonderful young people around him.
You need experts, not yes men.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's what Donald Trump wants, is yes men to be like, oh, can I nuke a hurricane? Oh yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yes, sir. No, sir. Anything you say, sir.
You know, oh,
Yeah,
can I
let's
buy
let's
Greenland?
nuke a
Yeah, sure,
hurricane.
why not?
Yeah.
You know, I wanna bomb Mexico and blame it on Canada. Can we do that?
Got to start dinner. Get out in that kitchen and rattle those pots
I mean,
and pans.
that's the
Take a Sharpie with you. You might be able to just draw dinner and fool everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Dismantle.
Yeah, just draw it on the chart. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
Feels good.
This is dinner. We're having chicken and rice and some green beans and little side
No,
salad.
he's having a cheeseburger and French fries and a Diet
Well,
Coke.
we know what he's having.
No, a well done steak.
God, I
a
wish
well
I would
done
have
steak,
him already.
which is the worst. A well done steak with ketchup. Ugh.
Oh.
Just steak plus ketchup is already a problem.
Yeah, that's already a problem. You betcha. God damn.
So
It's such a child thing to do. It's like he probably has it cut up into little pieces for him.
Oh my God.
And with the dip of ketchup on the side, so he can have exactly how much he wants.
No, you
know,
know,
we don't want to disappoint the baby boy.
Benny, you know he only
that's
gets.
why we never see Melania anymore. She's busy cutting his food into little bites for him.
He gets mini.
She's busy shopping for
Oh my
another
God.
husband. Don't you kid yourself.
He gets mini glass bottles of Heinz ketchup because he does not trust if he doesn't see it come out of the bottle himself.
Do you blame him?
I was gonna say I can't completely hate on him for that one because there's plenty of people.
Like Putin, maybe.
I'm surprised he doesn't carry around
shit.
the little just packages from McDonald's, you know.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
packets.
The little
His own
foil
little-
packets.
He probably has them in his
You
pockets all the time.
You could actually still inject something into those packets. They're injectable. They really are,
Oh.
and you wouldn't notice it.
well,
unless
not
it
unless
was
there's ketchup every
squeezed
spewing
where
out.
you could see maybe a little pinhole. But
Well,
I have
I'm-
a feeling that Donnie just woofs his food and doesn't really inspect it because he's trusting that somebody else inspected it for him.
Yeah, well, I live in a country where routinely people get poisoned. That is an actual real thing here.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, I'm very particular about, you know, my water bottles and my food wherever I am, because you just never know here. That's actually a real thing.
Yeah.
And so I can kind of empathize with him there because he is such a piece of shit that yeah, I could see that.
I can't even imagine sitting at the.
I'll give him
Listen.
some credit.
had he never been the president, had he never been, the leader of one of the biggest, strongest countries in the free world, I still wouldn't have been able to sit and eat a meal with him because he's fucking disgusting.
Ugh.
Oh no, I haven't. I mean, going way back to going back to his father. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Who sits
you know,
and eats with Donnie when he's sitting down? Does he eat alone? I hope so.
I bet he does. Watching the news.
Mhm.
Fox News.
Yeah,
Not the
paranoia
news.
is also very
Fox
common
News.
in Alzheimer's
Yeah.
and dementia patients. That's true too. Yeah.
He went off on Fox on his tweet there yesterday or the day before, calling them fake news. I was like,
Oh yeah,
finally,
he's mad about their
he's
poll.
he's finally telling the truth. Fox is fake news.
He's angry at them over the poll that they ran.
Yeah, I know.
And the thing is, I looked at the numbers on it. That poll was for less than 2,000 people.
Yeah.
But they're 2,000 Fox people. So, he's livid. He was livid. That was also a funny thing that I saw this week. I've been so swamped with work, but I still, I do a pub quiz every week, so I have to do a deep dive into what's going on around the world. And so I still manage to keep up with some of the news from the U.S. So, the bigger headlines. So,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna do a deep dive into this Trump saying that he'll give green cards to college graduates from other countries because
What?
that seems like so like opposite of what his foreign policy and immigration policies are. However, it also seems like the Hispanic vote is a big vote in the U.S.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
And
it is.
that is, and the Hispanic vote can make or break you for Florida. The reason that Hillary Clinton lost Florida was the Hispanic vote. The Cubans were not going to vote for her. And that goes back to Bill, unfortunately for her.
Yeah.
That, Bill made a kid go back to Cuba, and under his presidency, and the Cubans in Miami are still angry about that.
Yeah.
And so they held it against
Listen,
her. But
the
that vote is huge. It's a huge
the
number of
Cubans are a
voters.
huge vote, yeah. And listen, something done under another presidency that was fucking 3 presidents ago, and they're still holding on to it as, it was a personal affront on them, is fucking bullshit.
Oh, they're still angry. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey,
I know the
Cubans
I'm
of
from
Miami,
Florida.
fuck you.
They're still
Sorry,
like,
you're in my
if you-
country. You fled a
if you-
country that has dictatorship. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, that's why. I mean, that's why they're angry. Is because Bill sent that kid back. But at the end of the day, the dad was in Cuba and the mom was
It was
dead.
the
What are
legal
you gonna
thing
do?
to do. It was
Right.
the legal
It was the
thing
legal
to do.
thing to do. Yeah.
And they fucking hate when we color in the lines. They hate when we color in the lines. Have you seen Donnie's fucking colorings?
Oh my god.
He can draw an elephant.
Right. And we color in the lines, and they fucking hate that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the way the law and order works.
But I think that's where that statement is going, is that Trump is pandering to the immigrant vote. That they're legal Americans, they are Americans, but
of course
they have an immigrant
is.
background.
Or I have a
And,
question. Is he going to send these? Is he going to send these green cards to like college graduates from France and England and Scotland and Scandinavian? Because he wants white immigrants.
White college students.
Yeah, the white college students that come here. I'm just asking.
Well, I mean, we've got a lot of college students that come over from multiple countries, from India to become doctors.
I know.
And they stay in the U.S. They can get green cards without Trump giving it to them, and so. I'm going to look into that a little bit more because I think there's a lot more to it. Although I don't know if he's putting Stephen Miller back into his administration, then the green cards are out for everybody.
Yeah.
No green cards anymore for anyone.
Yeah, Denmark. First of all, college graduates from those countries wouldn't come here because they have free health care in their countries. Why would they come here?
Universities. I mean,
Let's call it what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've got older, more established universities in Europe because, well, quite frankly, they're older and more established.
Yeah, we're just a baby over here flailing around, acting like we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Come on, America. Get your shit together. The world's watching.
Yep. For sure.
Yeah, so that was my interesting thing of the week was seeing that yesterday. Too bad I did not have time to read into it a whole lot, but just like, anything that he says in front of any group, it's all just, what does this audience want to hear? I will tell them that, because at the end of the day, Trump doesn't have any moral compass. Trump doesn't have any true beliefs.
I want to play this for you. This is
Okay.
Fugelsang and Trump versus the 10 Commandments. All right, you ready?
Okay.
This is about hypocrisy, because these conservative Christians don't believe in the 10 Commandments.
Right.
I'm going to say it again. They don't believe in the document they're forcing public schools to post. Really quick, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Donald Trump prioritizes wealth, power. Have you seen his NFTs? He worships himself, too. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Donald Trump has done that in so many of his speeches. Number 3, keep the Sabbath holy. You're supposed to murder anybody who works on the Sabbath. Trump goes golfing. Honor thy father and mother. Trump tried to steal from his dad by rewriting his father's will. Thou shalt not kill. Trump killed more presidents with execution than every other president in 100 years, and he assassinated people. Thou shalt not commit adultery. I don't think we need to unpack that. Thou shalt not steal. He stole from vets with Trump University. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Where was Barack Obama born, you hypocrite Peckerwoods? Number 8, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Google Jack and Joan Clegg, Trump's neighbors at Mar-a-Lago. He coveted their house so hard, he tried to take over their property. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. We got this guy on tape saying he's trying to seduce his friend's wife. All 10 he has violated, and they're voting for him anyway. They don't follow these 10 commandments. They don't get to call themselves Christian, folks. It's not that America is a Christian nation. They're not Christian Christians.
Yeah!
Totally agree. And like I said earlier, that, a Christian understands that the 10 Commandments are Old Testament. The New Testament, Jesus told you, love. Focus on that. Focus on loving God. Focus on loving others.
Right.
And then you'll follow the other rules. And it changed the mandate from legalistic to an action that you do for others and to others, which is love. And so people that are still stuck in the, we need the 10 Commandments, we need God in school. God got removed from the school when they took prayer out of school. No, if you're a real Christian, God is everywhere. God is in you, around you.
And when that
You don't. God, you can't get rid of God.
remember
So
that
I
why
went
do
to
you
school.
continue to
I
do
went-
these things.
I went to school a long time ago, and I don't ever remember the 10 Commandments being in any school I ever went to. Sorry.
Yeah, that
No,
Louisiana
and
that Louisiana lawmaker who was saying that the 10 Commandments is a historical document. She said, I have a pocket, I have a dollar bill right here that says "In God We Trust" on it. And the guy who was interviewing goes, "Yeah, it was put on there in 1950 something, like 57, I think." It's not
yeah.
just because it says "In
Please.
God We Trust" on it doesn't mean it's a historical document.
No, and there's no. I mean, yeah, like
What are
you
you
were
talking
saying,
about?
I went to public schools. There were no 10 Commandments.
No.
If you want your children to be indoctrinated and have the 10 Commandments on the wall and have the Christian flag that they say the pledge to every day, there are these nice little things called Christian schools. Put your kid in a
Yep.
Christian school.
Oh, but you
You
can't
know?
afford it. That's why they want to take
It's
away.
that simple.
Yeah.
And they started Christian schools. The right and the Republican Party pushed privatization of Christian schools during segregation because they didn't want their precious white Christian children to have to be subjected to all these minorities. And, so that's when the private Christian school movement began. It was all over segregation. It was it's based on racism. It's not based on, on faith. The whole premise of all of it is all starts with falseness.
Yeah.
Which that in and of itself breaks the 10 Commandments.
I remember, same with me, Christine. I remember saying the Pledge of
Allegiance.
Yep. We said
one nation.
Yep.
The part that comes after that, under God, was also added.
Yep. Yep.
To the Pledge of Allegiance. It was not always there.
Yep. And Dean Baker says the Major showed a meme of kids hiding behind stone 10 commandments to dodge bullets. Sad but funny.
Tragic.
Well, I lived in Alabama, in Birmingham, Alabama, for a long time, and we had this wonderful judge, Judge Roy Moore. I don't know if you guys remember him.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, great guy. Oh, he was
he would go to the mall to shop for his little girls.
and he put the 10 Commandments in one of the courthouses or something.
Oh.
And even in Alabama, they were like, "No, man, you cannot do that.
Can't do that.
Like, you're
separation of church and state." Yeah.
Yeah. And that
blatant
was in
disregard.
Alabama.
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah.
The 10 Commandments are just a suggestion.
It's such an appropriate time to say Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
He rode on a horse to go vote. I remember that too.
Mm-hmm.
So Tony said
he was. I mean, the whole time I lived in Alabama, he just tormented everybody. So I was really
this
happy
bill
when
mandates.
he finally.
Who are we looking for?
Was finally gone. So
she doesn't look.
Hey, Blue Tomato.
Can you guys see this?
Not yet. They won't see it yet.
Everybody in Chatland, thanks for hanging out, listening to what's going on inside of our heads.
They won't be. Benny and Dan.
Kind of scary, guys.
Kind of scary in there. But
okay, here we go.
I truly believe that we have enough testicular fortification to march all our vaginas to the poll and vote like a motherfucker like never before.
I don't need to hear.
I see that happening.
So this is when
it has to happen.
All right, this is when
I see it happening.
Oh my God, this is when he signed the Louisiana bill.
They won't see it.
And this girl right here
They can't see it.
passes out. Why can't they see it?
It's for the show. It's shared on the show.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was tragic.
Did you see this?
Play.
Yes.
I did not see it.
Because if you want to respect the rule of law.
Oh, they just clipped it out.
They did?
Yeah, they clipped it out. Look at it. She was standing there and then she wasn't.
No shit.
Those bastards.
Oh, right
I
there she
saw
goes.
Pass right the fuck out.
Right there. Boom.
They
it out.
clipped
It
it
was
out.
a contrast video of somebody passing out
Maybe it's further
at a
down.
Trump thing.
No, they
Or
clipped it out.
some fucking right-wing bullshit fuckery, whatever they're calling their goddamn functions now. I call them all fucking KKK
I'm
meetings,
trying.
cult
I was gonna
meetings.
say,
That's all they are.
Isn't it called a rally? A KKK rally?
Yeah, exactly. But they showed the difference, and then there was a girl that passed out behind, who was it, Obama? They showed side by sides of the reactions of, the right wing to the left wing as to how people should act in such a situation.
Huh.
What? You need water? You need water? Okay, yeah.
Somebody get her water.
Need water.
Oh my God.
When he did that and that person was passed out, like right there in the front fucking row, I'm like, dude, throw the water, you fucking asshole. And he takes a drink. He doesn't throw the water.
If it was Trump, he would have to be like this and giving the water.
He can't. Yeah, he can't throw the water. That's why he didn't. Right now, that's what his excuse would be. But then he'd have to tell you why he can't throw the water, because he's an old beat up fucking prick. That's why.
Yeah, no, if I mean anybody out there that it isn't willing to go and vote in this election, but they want to complain, I've got no space for them.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no space.
it's so hard for me to talk to those people, and I know some of them, like, personally, and I'm like, you don't know how much you're pissing me off right now. I just want to bite your face off because you're not fucking listening. You're not listening. You're so stuck in that stupid dead zone that your fucking head is in that you're not listening. You don't do politics, but fucking politics is doing you.
Yep.
And if you don't choose who's running the politics, you're going to get exactly what you deserve. And this is where we are.
Yeah.
And to those third-party voters, fuck you,
Oh my
dude.
god. Oh my god.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we had
Sorry.
a different system. I do. I wish we did not have a two-party system, and that there was more power for third parties, because there are some
So do
really
I.
good third
But
parties out there.
But it's never
There's
been that
really
way.
good candidates. But
Listen,
the reality of it is,
wait a second. It's been my life experience that every time the third party chimes up, we get stuck with a fucking Republican.
exactly, they split the vote, and because
Now,
it's
in any other time, that's okay. In any other time, but this is not the time.
no,
It's democracy or fucking fascism. Those are our choices. And to think anything else is not giving a fuck. Period. And do you
Well,
really not want to give a fuck?
I mean, we watched that happen in real time with the Hillary Trump election, and
Yep.
Bernie stayed in and pulled just enough electoral vote points away from Hillary that
Yep.
she didn't get those states, and that the state went to Trump.
And the Jill
And
Stein
so,
vote.
It's one of those that, the next round, he was smart enough and aware enough that he did drop out and say, nope, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to do that. But there are third party, candidates that are hanging in there. And some of them have been caught on tape or have just outright admitted that the reason they're in the race is to split the vote.
Right.
That way it can go to Trump.
Yeah. Jill
So,
Stein.
It's
Jill
we
Stein,
don't-
that
we don't
piece of
have a
shit.
parliamentary system.
That piece of shit sitting at a table with fucking Vladimir Putin in 2015. Screw her. Jill Stein. Still in it. That nut job. What's his name?
Yeah.
I forget what his name is. The Reverend dude. He's a nut job. No offense, but he's a nut job. RFK Jr.
How about Donnie Spear? Sorry, fucking brain injury. Spear. I can't say the fucking word.
Spiritual advisor who just got arrested
who just got busted for molesting.
A 12-year-old.
The word they used, a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Right. Raping.
Yeah.
And
That's the word that you should use.
how many more children? How many more little girls has this motherfucker put his hands on? Because if he's done it once, he's done it more than once.
For sure.
That's
Right,
just
yeah.
a fact.
No, and that's, unfortunately we don't live in a parliamentary system because, there are times where the third party candidate, sure, they might be legitimate, but that is not the system we live in. It's not like the EU. It's not like, countries where, that party will then get a percentile of the seats. That's not how it works in the US.
No.
You win or you lose. And so if you're staying in the race and you're splitting votes, That's that's not. I don't find you to be a legitimate candidate. If you're a voter that's fed up with the parties, so you want to vote independent, you're culpable for whoever gets for that split.
Yeah.
You have caused that split. And when a wannabe dictator that is an idiot and knows nothing about foreign policy, knows nothing about economic policy, knows nothing about anything that actually is needed to run a country, and you've just contributed to that person becoming the president, then it doesn't matter if you voted for him or not. It's your fault too. So it's your fault as well.
Bingo. And people don't like to admit that they did something stupid or adverse that affect everybody else, which is stupid in and of itself, is ignorance. If you fuck up, step up. I fucked up, man. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Now I'm listening, but now might be too late. When people run around saying, be the change you want to see, and don't do a fucking thing, they don't even vote. That's not the change I want to see.
No, if you're posting on social media, if you're protesting on university campuses, if you're participating in marches, you better be voting, because all of these other things are just noise. It's just noise.
Yep.
Unless you actually back it up with an actual vote. If you are a voter, an active voter, and participating in things, that's very different than just showing up to things, posting it on social media, and then never actually taking the responsibility of casting a vote. It takes 5 minutes to do these things.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
You have to drive 4
it's
hours
not like
one way to drive your ballot to an embassy, correct?
I have to drive. I have to cross a border into another country and drive the ballot 4 hours one way to the American embassy. Drop it
Take
off,
a whole day
and
to
then-
vote. A whole day to vote.
And then I'll have to stay over in Kigali because the border closes at 3:00 in the afternoon. So I'll have to stay over and then come back the next day. So that's a hotel, it's food,
Right.
it's fuel, it's documents for the car to cross, it's documents for me to cross. You're talking about a couple $100 to vote.
I would crawl through broken glass to vote for Joe Biden in this election.
Yep.
Not because he's the best president, which
No.
he is, that we've ever had. He's done more in such a short time than any other president ever. Ever. Even good old Roosevelt. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, he's done a fucking lot in such a short time.
I don't have student loans anymore. I
There
don't
you
have
go.
student loans anymore.
You and millions of other people. Thank you,
Millions of
Joe
other
Biden.
people thank you, Joe
Thank
Biden.
you, Joe Biden.
Because, and that was a fight. It was a fight. I know it was a fight for him because it was a fight for me for the last 2 years from the moment it started, where we were told that we had student loan forgiveness, until I actually got it. Because we were given student loan forgiveness, then then our debts were put back on us. You start making payments again, all of this stuff, and had to apply for things, had to apply for things. So the amount of work that I put into it was minuscule compared to what the administration put into it.
Right.
And I commend them for that. I also I feel like his foreign policy has been on target. Finally, we're finally recovering from the damage that Trump did internationally, and by having an actual qualified people in these positions that deal with foreign policy, a Secretary of State that actually knows what they're talking about. Anthony Blinken one of the, I mean, I love the man, absolutely love the man. So, having actual qualified people in those positions that are educated, that actually know other languages, know other cultures, know how to communicate with people. It's taken all this time to recover our reputation around the world.
Yeah.
And now we're up on re-election. So,
And we better do the right fucking thing.
it needs to
If
be
you
a
know-
re-election.
If
This
you
isn't
know
an election.
somebody, talk to them. You know who they are. If you don't know somebody, talk to them anyway. Because a stranger's only a stranger until you say hey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, and I mean, the irony is that here, the Americans here, the French here, the Brits here, like, we vote. People that are expats, when you go and live in other countries where voting is truly suppressed and elections are truly stolen, you begin to really appreciate the rights that you have, and you exercise them as much as you can, even if it is a lot of work. Let me tell you, the last election, we were
You hear
in
that,
lockdown.
America?
We were in a lockdown. I couldn't get to the embassy in the other country because the borders were locked down. We had to put together a DHL package that cost over $1,000 for a bunch of envelopes. I think we all, like, each person, each American that was voting, we put in a couple $100 each to cover the DHL package fee to get our ballots to the U.S. So there comes a point in your life where you've got to really, determine that, hey, this isn't just, oh, this is my right. It's this actual honor and privilege that you get. It's
This is
the one
important.
time. It's the one time that you are the determining factor in what's going to happen.
Well, they work for us, and if you don't vote, then you don't.
For us.
Yeah, I love that. Dean Baker said, "I wish I had a T-shirt saying Biden is the best president ever in the history of presidents."
The truth shall set you free.
I think we can make that happen.
Seriously, it will. It will. It's so liberating when you live in truth.
Peter says it's
You don't
420.
have to fucking lie about anything.
Peter says it's 420. It's 420 somewhere.
Yay, 420. I think I took a dab like 20 minutes ago. I was ahead of the clock.
Yeah.
But, as my heart rate goes
Cornell
up and I
West.
can feel my blood pressure changing, I'm like, oh, it's dab time.
Yeah. Yeah. Cornell West. That's
know?
the guy's name I was trying to think of. Cornell West.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cornell West.
Yeah.
Which he hasn't even actually officially said he's running, but there's all these people running campaigns for him all over.
And he owes
country.
back tax, like $500,000 in back taxes, and again, he wouldn't pass the clearance test because of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, to hear that man give a speech on something, I like him. I'm moved. I like his ideas. Am I gonna waste a vote? Am I gonna vote against Biden? Essentially, hell no.
No.
Hell no. Not gonna do it.
I'm for sanity every day of the week. I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah, I mean, it's just reality. It's the reality of the system we live in.
It's not a reality show like Donnie wants it all to feel like in his fucking world of cult fucking reality TV fucking fiends.
Yeah. And he never says anything that's worth with any salt. That's why him saying, I'm going to pass out green cards, it's, again, antithetical to everything that he's for in immigration.
Ever said.
And we had first like 5 days last week. Donald Trump had a meeting in Washington with business leaders, and they were shocked because he was meandering and he couldn't keep his thoughts straight. And then he went to the black church, and it said there was 8,000 African American supporters there when it was only 100 people, and most of them were white. And the people that were black that were there weren't from Michigan. And also it was his 78th birthday, and they were singing happy birthday to him. The Republicans were singing happy birthday to him, and it's the first time he's been back to the Capitol after the insurrection. It's like he sent his mugs to fucking kill you, you idiots. Then he said he's going to lose the next debate on purpose. And then he said if he loses the election, he's going to start an investigation. The altered videos of Biden and all that. And then he was bragging about doing the cognitive test when he called Ronnie Johnson while he was pointing at him in the audience. That happened in 5 days. All of that insanity happened in 5 days last week, you guys. That's what I'm talking about, are the shitholes of news that's coming out at us on a daily basis. Yeah. And that's just the stuff about Trump. That has nothing to do about really anything else. So you've got SCOTUS, hauling, delaying his immunity case. You've got Eileen Loose Cannon down in Florida, literally death by 1,000 cuts to the fucking documents case. If something doesn't happen soon with that, I think Jack Smith can actually get her removed. I don't know how that works, but I think he can actually do it because it's just ridiculous at this point. And she won't make any decisions.
It smells so bad. I mean, I'm in California.
Yeah, it reeks.
And I can smell it from here.
Yeah, it reeks. It absolutely reeks.
It reeks so fucking bad. I mean, whew.
What's that?
Probably just like Donnie's diaper.
You're probably
What's that
right.
smell over here in Congo? Oh.
Yeah. Oh,
it's not our full prisons.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Damn.
They're emptying their insane asylums and their insane asylums and mental institutions and all their prisons, and they're all coming here.
Yeah. Like I said, we don't really have mental institutions. It's not really a thing here.
It's not really a thing here since Ronald Reagan closed them all down instead of fucking running them properly.
Yep.
Well, I mean, everybody here has PTSD. So,
yeah.
Like mental health issues, that's the norm here. So, but we just don't have the infrastructure. We don't have the investment. We don't have the qualified people here to do these things. And so, in the prison situation, I mean, I can't even describe to you because being on the inside of some of these prisons, they're horrible. I mean, they're like what you see in the movies, like with black sites, like CIA black sites where they'll take people and it's like that. Really dingy, really dirty, nasty, just really bad conditions, and you don't get out.
Yeah.
So, but
he can keep saying it.
When you talk about
just
the
ain't true.
prisons there, it reminds me of that movie that I saw many years ago about the guy who tried to smuggle hashish out of Turkey, I think it was. Yeah, Turkish
There was a
prison.
movie about, I remember that.
They were, the way they depicted that prison is what I'm picturing in my head.
Yeah.
And the inmates here think they have it bad.
Yeah, no. I mean,
with their cable TV and their 3 squares and cod.
No, you are locked in. The guards are on the outside. You don't get fed unless somebody brings you food. You collect rainwater. Like, we're going into the dry season. Mm-hmm. So it's only been raining like once a week recently, and being right on the equator, it gets. I mean, we're because we're high altitude, we still have a moderate temperature, but we're reaching 80, 85 every afternoon. That's for being 2 miles above sea level. That's hot.
Yeah.
We are really hot, and it's really dry. And when there's no rainwater, these people have no water. And then if you have no water, how are you cleaning yourself? How are you brushing your teeth? How are you cleaning the toilets? How are you
staying hydrated?
All right. How are you doing all of these
That would
things?
be my first concern. Fuck
so,
everything else. I'm drinking the water.
When you don't have access to water, it's more than just drinking water, though. There's so many things that you need water for.
Elizabeth is asking, she's the teacher. She's been on with us. Elizabeth asking, dry monsoon lasts how long?
It'll be about 2 months of really dry. So by mid August, we'll be calling it less dry season and more dust season, because there'll just be dust everywhere. And like you have to, like, I have couches out on my balcony. Those will need to be like wiped down every day, because it's just going to be so dusty. And you go out in the morning, when you come back during the dry season, it's better to take showers in the evening, because if you take your shower in the morning, when you get home, you're going to need to take another shower because you're covered in dust.
Right.
Yeah. And so, and it's like caked into your hair. It's in your ears. You've got nasty nose.
You got dust boogers,
just black boogers. And so you go from taking showers in the morning to taking showers in the afternoon and evening.
Yeah.
And
after
also because it's so freaking hot that it feels better to take your shower in the afternoon too, because we don't have hot water heaters. But it'll be hot enough that my storage tanks that are black, the water that comes out of them will be pretty warm at that point. So, but yeah, that's what, those are our seasons. So we have 2 seasons. We have wet season and we have dry season.
Okay.
That's it. 'Cause we're on the equator. So, sunrise is always at 6 a.m. Sunset is always at 6 p.m.
Never changes.
We have two, there's never any like variation on it.
That's so freaky.
When you say to people, let's meet for sunset drinks, everybody knows that means you need to get to the place at 5:30.
Right. Yeah.
So you can, like there's no, we don't tell you a time to be there. It's just everybody knows that here, because sunset is always at 6 o'clock.
We had our longest day of the year yesterday. It was like 16 hours of sunlight. The sun won't go down until like 9 o'clock
summer
tonight.
Solstice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were 15,000 people that participated in the summer solstice at Stonehenge that had just been painted orange by environmental activists.
Now you can really see it from space.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an environmentalist.
Of all fucking colors, of all the colors they could have used, they used orange.
They used orange.
Cheapest.
Which if maybe they were fans of the Netherlands. It's Euro 24.
Yes,
their team color is orange.
Yes,
Maybe
it
it's
is. You're right. I forgot all about King Orange or whoever it was. I can't remember.
I don't get those.
Yeah,
why they do that.
Somebody back there in history. I actually learned about the whole orange thing when I went to Netherlands.
Yep, the Battle of the Orange.
Yeah, prior to that, I was kind of blind about a lot of things. Going to Europe really made me see America from a whole different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
That is fucked up. Stonehenge is a masterpiece. Like, I don't get it. Like,
Yeah,
it's
the fuck is wrong with
Well, that's
you?
what-
a gravesite.
I'm an environmentalist. You know, pick up your
Paint
trash.
yourself
Don't throw-
orange and go run around.
don't
Leave everything
throw
else alone.
rubbish on the ground, things like that, but this destruction of UNESCO sites of historical paintings. I mean, they've attacked Monet's, they've attacked different, and I'm getting to the point where throwing soup on stuff, painting stuff on things. I mean, even that horrible portrait of King Charles got defaced. And that was a pretty ugly portrait, but
It's still
there's a better way to
protest.
to go about this and to protest. So and honestly, those guys need to go vote too, because the problem with their countries is that they've let the right wing in too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, you want to protest? Learn how.
Couldn't agree
Be
more.
like Banksy.
It seems like the whole world is collectively learning a very fucking valuable lesson right now.
Yeah.
And if I was a person of Earth, I would get my shit together and start acting right.
Well, I feel like the problem is that nobody actually learned their lessons. Like, they've forgotten what happened in the 20s, 30s, and 40s.
Well, therein
And now they're
lies the
letting
rub,
it happen
eh?
again. Italy is actively voting in a declared fascist. Like, how do you do that after you had Mussolini?
Yeah,
After
exactly.
watching Donald Trump. After watching Donald Trump and fucking Vladimir Putin and all these other assholes. I mean, how can you do that? I don't get it. And if you want to learn how to protest, study Banksy. I love what Banksy
Yeah.
did. Banksy, the graffiti artist? Yeah. Banksy,
Banksy's a badass. When he shredded that fucking picture
That's what I was gonna
after
tell
it
you.
sold, that was the ultimate fucking burn.
Who knew? Did they even know that there was a shredder built into the thing? I don't
No.
even think they knew.
No.
No.
So literally, they sold this piece of artwork at like Sotheby's or,
It's worth more money.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
now
it
it's,
was, I think it was Sotheby's.
I want to say Sotheby's. As soon as they went sold and did the hammer thing and say sold, it went and started
Dropped right
fucking
into a shredder.
shredding it. A shredder was built into the frame. Oh my god.
It was,
It was
brilliant.
brilliant.
It's worth more money now.
It was
Brilliant.
fucking brilliant.
Tony
well,
told me just now
and
it's
his-
worth more money.
His form of protest, he's not actually defacing things. He's adding value to them. Spray
Yeah.
painting, some spray paint on Stonehenge, you're not adding value.
Yeah.
No.
You're defacing it. Throwing soup onto a Monet or onto the Mona Lisa, those are not acts of true
Protest.
thought out protest,
Right.
intelligent protest.
Yeah. How
Right.
about
There's
the
intelligent ways to do these things.
the dictator
and it's
of
just not
Argentina?
intelligent.
That's just acting foolish and childish and naive.
Yeah.
Well, and a few weeks ago, some protesters went and broke the case that holds the original Magna Carta over, protesting. Same thing,
Yeah.
environmental protests. And it's like, this is the Magna Carta. We're talking about an actual historic document from
Yeah.
the 1200s that is the basis for every democracy around the world. And, and so, it's just, they're targeting things for attention, but I think what they're ultimately doing is turning people off from them.
Yeah.
So
No.
I don't want to be associated with them. I'm still going to tell you to pick rubbish up if you throw it down on the ground, though.
Yeah, no. I hate that shit. I'm right there with
You would hate it here. You would really hate it here. It's an all day, every day.
Honey, I know I would. I'm not built for what you're doing
Yeah.
right now. I'm really not.
Elizabeth
My
said,
My boots are better serving here.
yeah. Elizabeth said Italy's leader is literally one is of Mussolini's party, and you know what I was thinking about too is
Yeah.
Argentina's new leader,
Maloney.
the psychopath that's got a chainsaw, walks around with a chainsaw. That nut job.
Does anybody remember what happened to Mussolini? It was not pretty.
It was not. But
was
it's
not
just
pretty. But
you
it
know,
just listen. I don't want people to ever have to be to that point. So don't put yourself in that position by putting somebody above you who's going to fuck with your life.
Yeah,
no,
Petrozzi
I mean,
said.
the EU elections are actually quite scary right now.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
you know, over and over again, these neo-Nazis and fascists are gaining ground throughout Europe, and so you know, it is one of those that it makes you wonder if people can actually evolve and learn from their past, like as a whole. It's that whole thing of I don't mind people like on an individual basis, but the human race is a little bit disappointing.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
that's an understatement.
Petrozzi says he
See,
mixes in with the
on my
crowd.
planet, we all get along. Just saying.
Talking about Banksy, Petrozzi says, here. He mixes in with the crowd and pushes the button to trigger the shredder. Total punk genius.
Yeah.
It is kind of punk genius. It's so great.
Totally is. I mean, you know, that's my kind of protest. Something that's silent but profoundly loud.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
And not destructive. Not destructive
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. No, didn't hurt anybody.
Didn't break any
And-
laws.
Yeah. And I'm sure as soon as it was sold, it was insured immediately. So, you know, nothing was lost.
Yeah, I remember the Indian crying commercial for people littering. Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah.
It was actually an Italian actor, but yeah, who's counting?
Yeah, I know. That always pissed me off. They would always pick Jewish people and Italian people to play Indians like there were no Indian actors, but there were. See? Native Indians.
Yep.
Native Americans. Don't call them Indians. I get caught up in that shit too. Native Americans.
No, Indian comes from dumbass Columbus, who actually thought that
Dumbass.
he was so confused.
And the guy who discovered
He's
America.
an idiot. He discovered. No, he didn't discover anything because people were already there. But,
I know.
but he stumbled upon Haiti,
Yeah.
of all the places. He didn't even make it to the actual continental, like North American continent. He was stuck on the islands. So, freaking idiot. Columbus Day is one of those. Like, you get worked up over certain things. Columbus Day gets me so worked up. So Columbus Day, the term Indians, you're just such an idiot, man. Such an idiot to be glorified in the U.S. education system. So there's a great book called Lies My Teacher Told Me. And it was like a pivotal book that I read when I was in secondary school. So high school.
Right.
When I was in high school in the U.S., I read that book, and it developed like the way that I wanted to teach history was, to use like actual firsthand documents and testimonies and stuff like that in teaching, not a textbook.
Right.
And a great book though. There's
like
a
that.
series of them. Lies my teacher told me, lies my history teacher told me, and it goes into these first and secondary, sources that are the accurate truth, and contrasts it to what we were taught in the American public school system.
Right,
So,
right.
I know. I kind of wish I still had my history book from high school, so I could like look up in it, like what were they saying? What were they teaching us? Because it was all bullshit.
It all
I
sounded
taught-
like
I-
bullshit to me.
Yeah, well, I taught history in the U.S. and there are some things that are no-goes. And so, like in world history, it's Egypt, Greece, Rome. Those are the ones you learn. In American history, you learn a lot about the 13 colonies and the Revolution, and then you kind of gloss over the Civil War because it was about states' rights. It had nothing to do with, millions of enslaved people that were being treated like property.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to stay away from Vietnam. You're not actually supposed to teach Vietnam
Right.
in the secondary school system in the U.S. because it's still too controversial. And so then you start doing things like, so then you instead of teaching about Vietnam or about Nixon and his resignation, you talk about JFK's assassination.
Right.
You talk about, and so the only thing that you really talk about with civil rights is Martin Luther King.
Oh shit, she's frozen. Martin Luther King Jr.
Ruh-roh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
She froze. She might jump out and jump back in.
Yeah.
Let me get that ready in
Turn
case
it
she
off
does
and on
that.
again. Jump out and jump in again, Michelle. If you can hear us. Wave your hands, Diane.
I'm not doing anything.
And it's like
Okay, that's good.
there are these like talking points that you have.
Uh-oh, she's freezing. I don't think she knows
Yeah.
she's freezing yet.
No, she doesn't. She
She's
doesn't.
still talking.
She'll-
And
Can
and if
you wait,
then you're not hitting the
Michelle, hold
point.
on. You froze up there for a minute. So you talk about Martin Luther King Jr. and then that's when you got cut off.
Then you
So
froze up.
Yeah, that's about where you end your American history, general American history in secondary school.
Right.
It's now it ends with JFK assassination and Martin Luther King Jr. and
Yep.
then that's it. That's it.
Yep.
Nothing about
Yep.
Reaganomics and trickle down, nothing about the Bush years, nothing about the Gulf War. Very little about what's actually been happening now,
Right.
and that's more current history.
Well,
That's
that's due to the Republicans' curriculums changing the public school system.
and they've been defunding it for
You know,
40
they-
years, 50 years.
Yeah. I mean, they've gutted schools down to barely nothing, pretty much, except for sports. Just,
I had
It's
a
like-
I had a professor who told me that as a teacher, if you're ever in a position where the arts are going to get cut and you have the power to influence, that you need to push that the sports get cut, because everybody's going to put money into the sports.
Yep.
And you can save both the arts and the sports at the same time if you'll become the bad guy and cut the funding for the sports.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's not what happens. They cut the
No,
arts.
of course
now
not.
they're both gone.
Yep.
Now
Every
they're
single
both gone.
time. Mm.
Now they're both
Nope.
gone. You have to go, somewhere else to get choir classes and stuff like that. Unless they have a band. If they have a football team, they have a band.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's gonna be, the band will be there. You'll have
Yeah, the band.
majorettes. You'll
Yeah.
have cheerleaders.
You have to have the pomp and circumstance to go with the sports. If you don't have the
Right.
pomp and circumstance, then it's, it's half the fun.
But your drama club, your choirs,
Ceramics,
photography.
drawing.
Art.
Yeah, art. Yeah.
Art,
yeah,
gutted,
yeah,
gone.
Those are gutted. So it was really interesting though, like the huge gaps that were left, that just weren't taught. World War II is taught, but World War I isn't. We
Right.
wouldn't have had World War II without World War I. And you kind of have to understand one
Both.
to get the other.
To understand the other. Exactly.
Yeah, and
Half of the story is not good enough.
and so and then the emphasis in the U.S. is mostly on when you're doing world history, a lot of emphasis is put on British history, when there's so many countries and cultures in the world, but
There's so much more.
You go from like Egypt to Greece to Rome, and then you're like Henry VIII. Like,
Yeah.
it's like boom, boom, boom.
What the
and you're
fuck?
like, well, nothing happened in between Henry VIII.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well,
Nothing happened. It was very quiet
Nothing.
time in history.
Nothing happened. I mean, they're like, oh, there was the Black Plague. You had the Black Plague, and then, but it's just, I mean, part of it is there is a time constraint, but it is just interesting, like, once you start really dissecting the way that history is taught, the way that anything is taught in the U.S., and then incidentally in Congo as well, that the U.S. was a colony.
Yeah. Once upon a time.
That was colonies, and Congo was a colony. And so the education systems were created with the same idea, and it wasn't to educate, it was to train and control. And so you still have remnants of that within the U.S. education system. You still have a lot of that here in Congo.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, but there's remnants of it that you get in the U.S. system still. And part of that is the textbooks and the way that they just randomly jump from one safe topic to the other. I mean, almost every American student I know can tell you all about the pharaohs of Egypt. But they don't know a damn thing about the Armenian genocide.
No. Don't
There's
know
so
anything
much
about that.
so many do not know. And why I don't understand in the age, especially in the age of technology, and we've had this technology for a good hot minute. I mean, it's like the amount of knowledge is at everybody's fingertips to research anything and find, viable and valuable resources. I mean,
Yeah. That's one of the advantages of technology, is that you can research things. One of the problems is that people are so uneducated, they don't know how to actually research something. In my opinion, that they get on YouTube and they get stuck in a cycle of, just hearing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And they're not actually learning how to research something and say, okay, well, this source says this source says that, which one is the truth?
Right.
And going deeper and deeper and deeper, and then going, oh, there's these things called primary sources, the actual letters that Columbus wrote to Queen Isabella.
Yeah.
That's a primary source.
that's the real skinny right there.
Yeah, that's the primary source that tells you about Columbus Day, when he's talking about how he gave different islands to his brothers and they're raping and pillaging the natives.
Aren't they great?
And in detail. And then go find that primary source. Don't read the textbook that tells you that Christopher Columbus discovered America.
That's what
Read
my
the primary
textbook said.
source. Those
what-
letters are available.
That's what my high school history textbook said.
Yeah. So highly recommend the books. Yeah, Lies My Teacher told me.
Right.
Everybody
Google
should
is
read that.
not a source. No, Google is not a source.
Let me see.
As long as everybody knows that, then we can all just get along. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Simple. Do your research.
Yeah.
Well,
do actual research.
But it's true though.
So,
it's hard to.
I was reading an article. The UN released a study and a warning. That I think in the last 2 weeks they've done this warning about the use of AI, and the way that AI works is that it's fed information and then regurgitates it, and so it learns from things, and that UN Human Rights has found multiple incidences where AI is now being manipulated by certain conspiracy groups, where they'll go in and flood the AI, like Chat GPT or something like that, with their narratives, things like Holocaust denial. That now, if you go to Chat GPT and you ask it for information on the Holocaust, it'll give you false information. It can tell you that certain things didn't happen. And it's because there are groups that are now flooding these
flooding the zone
with disinformation.
They're flooding it and teaching it the wrong information for it to regurgitate. So, so why don't you just, instead of going to Chat GPT to learn about the Holocaust, why don't you watch the Nuremberg trials? Those are available. You can watch the Nuremberg.
Yes, you can.
And then you'll hear testimony from actual Nazis telling you what happened.
Yeah.
You don't even have to listen to a Jew. You don't have to listen to him.
Yeah.
You can just listen to an actual Nazi.
The Nazis will tell you.
Horrible a Nazi is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Open a book. Open a book like the ones that your parents had on the shelves. I mean, even an encyclopedia was better than what we got now.
Oh my gosh, I miss encyclopedias. Man, I remember when we started buying our first, our encyclopedias when I was a kid. And, you got like one book a month or something until you had the whole set. It was like super exciting.
Yeah.
It was almost as exciting as getting the National Geographic.
National Geographic, I was just going to say that. We totally had a subscription for that. Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
It was was total stuff outside of your small existence, Yeah,
well, that's where my first encounters with Jane Goodall and Diane Fossey was National Geographic. Yeah. And now I live where they worked or continue working.
Right.
And where their foundations are. And, I pass vehicles all the time, say Diane Fossey Foundation or Jane Goodall Foundation, and so, that my very first encounters with them, it wasn't Gorillas in the Mist and Sigourney Weaver. It was National Geographic.
Right. Yeah.
So,
real.
I grew up with Jane Goodall. Yeah. Because she really fascinates me as a human being. She's one of those she's a rare Earth being. She's all Earth. She's all Earth. That's the only way I know how to describe her.
She is so, she's got this huge presence for being such a small,
tiny, teeny thing,
humble, tiny thing that speaks really quietly. Her voice is really, really quiet. Because the Diane Fossey Foundation is based in Rwanda. Jane Goodall is based in Rwanda and in Congo. They work on both sides of the border, and so of course Diane Fossey was murdered in Rwanda while she was studying the guerrillas, and that was in the 70s, early 70s. But Jane Goodall's still kicking around and still doing speeches and stuff, and you can run into her all kinds of places here. That's one of the interesting things about being here is that, you run into people, you run into princes, you run into these big figures in organizations. You run into UN ambassadors. You run into these people because they're here. They have to show up here and do an appearance. So so it's interesting who all you run into. So but yeah,
You'll never guess who I bumped into in the Congo the other day.
right. So well, I mean, there was a day where I was out with some kids and took them to get some pain chocolat, so some chocolate croissants, and
Yes.
and we were sitting in the little cafe, and I look up and there was Prince Emmanuel de Morat, and he is a Belgian prince that is
There you
here
go.
and works with our national park and training our rangers, and he's essentially a game warden. Well, my father was a
Sweet.
game warden, so I talked
Sweet.
to him for a bit, and then a few years later, my father's here, my mother's here. We go into that same cafe, and guess who's there?
Whoop,
Prince
there he
Emmanuel.
is.
And I was
That's
like,
awesome.
oh my gosh,
Hey,
my dad
Dad.
gets to meet. My dad
Yeah.
gets to meet the hero of heroes in the game warden circles.
In the world of
is
game
this
wardens.
guy. Yeah. Well, this guy was he was ambushed and shot 6 times and survived. It was an assassination attempt that was paid for by a British petroleum company, not BP, but a British separate word petroleum company.
Right.
And they tried to assassinate him for the work that he does here. So
Damn.
the man's a legend. So you just never know who you'll run into.
If people are trying to kill you, chances are you're doing something right.
Yeah, or you're a real
I hate to
bastard.
say-
One or the
yeah,
other.
it's
You're
just
either
one or
a
the
real
other.
bastard or you're doing something good.
But regular old folk don't have to worry about people wanting to, kill you as a norm. Not anymore. I don't feel that way because of so many mass shootings and everybody and anybody being able to have a fucking gun is just insane.
Well,
And
one
now
of
we
the
have-
one
Now we have, the whole bump stock thing going on.
Well, one of the guys that I work for, the director of one of the organizations I work for, his name's Joseph, and he helps with the rescuing of child soldiers. And in 2019, coming back from a village, their convoy was ambushed and attacked, and he was shot 10 times.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Should have died. It managed to make it back to the city. They saved his life. Told me he'd be paralyzed from the neck down. Then COVID hit. We managed to get him to South Africa for therapy during COVID, during massive lockdowns here on the continent. He went to South Africa, and he is in a wheelchair, but he also can walk with canes. He's able to walk, and he's
See,
still,
doctors don't know everything because, if doctors knew the power of the human spirit, then they would be good doctors. But
Right.
we don't really count that into their equation. They really
no,
don't.
and I mean, this guy, he literally, rescues kids. And
Yeah.
so, and that's a guy that I work with every day that, he got ambushed and shot because of the work
Can't
that
keep-
he does.
Can't keep a good man or woman down, and that's all there is to it. Mhm.
No,
So
but
Diana Hill,
that is
I'm
something
sorry,
that,
honey.
that happens here.
Diana Hill, I did not get your digits, your phone number. We are very close to each other. You live very close. You can call into the show right now, and I can snag your number that way if you want. The number is 248-780-9775. And
Isn't technology grand?
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think this might be your number here, but I don't want to say it on the air, of course. So You know.
So just call in, and then Diane can write it down directly, and then she'll have your number
Yeah.
without anybody else knowing it.
Yeah. You don't even have to talk if you don't want to.
It's totally optional.
Totally optional, but no, but I love
Thank
connecting
you,
with
Mark.
people like Trish. I know Trish is from Michigan too, but she lives further away. I can't like Taylor, Michigan, I think she's from, and that's more like an hour and a half away from where I am. So again, I like meeting people and building a little coalition of people here and just in Michigan, and then here on YouTube and on Twitch. You know, I think it's so great. That's why I like having the phone call. That's how would I have met Michelle if it wasn't for Spy? If I didn't know Spy Ken R through Hal Sparks, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a whole group of people that we give a fuck about democracy around the world, not just. Here we go.
Phone call.
There's my girl.
Call from. Hi, Diane.
Hi, Diana.
Hi.
Is it Diana or Diane?
Diana.
Okay, there you go.
Hi.
Hi, Diana.
So thanks for calling in, honey. And yeah, you're very close by, and we'll talk more about it off the air. But yeah, I'm checking. I gotta check the volume. I know. Okay, he's yelling at me already.
Hi, Bunny Loco. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, honey. How are you?
Hi,
Good
Diana.
to hear you.
Yeah, it could be better, but doctors are working on it. So you want me to give you my number right now? Or how do you want to do that?
I got it.
It
I
came
got
up on
yet.
the screen.
Yeah, I
It
got
came
it.
up
Okay.
on the screen.
Yeah, don't worry.
Like caller ID, so she could just copy it down. That's what she's doing right now.
Yep.
She's writing it down. In her
Okay,
little
well, this
book
is
of-
my
I
landline
got this.
number.
I might have your other number, but don't say it now. I'll call you on this after the show, and we'll talk more.
Okie dokie. Sounds great.
All right, honey. Thanks for calling
Okay.
in.
Thank you.
Love and light, all of you.
Oh, thanks. You too, babe.
Love
All
you.
right.
I do. I like connecting with people. I think it's fun. Damn it.
It is. It is fun, and it's healthy. It's healthy. Because we're not the kind of people that completely agree with each other all the time either. So
Well, that's human nature. We're not supposed to agree with each other all the time, but we're supposed to look out for each other all the time.
Well,
if you
and
see somebody in danger, you jump to get them out of danger. That's what humans do.
Yeah,
and it's good, and you know it's also any time people we need each other. We actually do for support, for venting, for bitching, for
survival,
for all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
And and so I love you guys. You guys are helping my mental health over here. So
good.
if I can get on here every couple weeks, it does. It does. It feels like I have this community that even though I may not be able to physically see you, we're attached. We're together.
Yeah.
It's been helping me mentally to be able to connect with you guys too. So
well, being so far away and not really knowing what's going on here all the time, that's got to be a bit difficult too, during the age of Donald Trump and how insane it's been.
Yeah.
Is that
you guys are like a good Xanax every couple weeks.
Is that Clementine?
There you go.
Is that Clementine?
Little soul cleansing, yet Clementine comes up to say, hey, a lot.
She wants to stick her ass in the
She's
camera.
She's not happy unless she's, ruling the roost.
She shows the whole world her asshole.
It's now 2:00 in the morning here. My cats, I did have them perched behind me.
Yeah.
Observing and making sure that this was all cool with them. But they went to bed. There was actually there were a couple of looks that I got that was like, I'm going to bed.
Call from
We've had it.
PETRAZZI.
Hi, Petrazi.
Petrazi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Hi, Petrazi.
Hi,
Hey.
Benny. Hi, Michelle. I'm good.
doing, honey?
I was surprised to see you guys still on. I had to run to the pharmacy, but I'm glad you were because I wanted to call earlier. Just wanted to talk to Michelle. Michelle, I really love listening to your stories on the Congo. I truly enjoy them. And I wanted to ask, do you live in Goma? Do you live by the lake? Do you live by Lake Kivu?
I do. I live in the neighborhood called Himby, and it is right on the lake. My house is not right on the lake, but I can walk right down the hill to some of my neighbors, and I have lake access. So
beautiful lake. I
guess.
was fortunate enough to go to the Congo before it was the DRC with my father.
Oh, Zaire.
And,
Nice.
Yeah, and we got to stay around Kivu, Lake Kivu, because we were looking to hope to see gorillas, but at that time when I was 15, they were killing them a lot because they didn't want to live next to them. But it was a fun trip.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome.
Your little Congo stories, and I enjoy when you're on with Benny and Diane. That's
so
to
awesome.
say.
Thank you, Petrazi. You're so sweet.
Thanks.
We appreciate you.
Bye,
We
Benny.
love
I
you,
love your
Petrazi.
hair.
Thank you.
Your hair looks
Thank
great.
you.
Good.
Very blue
All right.
this time. All right. Bye, honey. Thanks.
Bye.
It's no longer periwinkle.
Yeah, it was periwinkle for a couple days. Now it's blue. Now it's sapphire.
Mike, what up? Yeah, this is much better.
I know, Wizzy, you can try calling in again. Sorry.
And I got it like a wave. I tried to make it look like a wave.
It looks cool.
Today.
It looks like a blue wave. It does.
Catch
A
the
blue wave.
Mm-hmm.
We need a
Wizzy, you
blue
can
wave
call
in
in
our
now
lives.
if you want to try.
Mm.
It's funny, people calling at
I
the same
got
time,
that.
and I don't know what to do. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Hi, Wizzy.
Hello.
How's it going, honey?
Hey, Wizzy Buff.
Hey,
We have a secret. We know a couple of YouTubers who are in our chat who are actually visiting with each other right now. It's a secret. Shh.
don't tell.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah. In fact, he's looking at me right now.
He's looking at me right now.
So yeah, I called.
These guys.
I was listening, and it was so good that what you were saying about the what Michelle, hello, good to see you.
Hello.
Yes, it's so good to see you. I was thinking about what you had said, but I have lost all of my. I had so many comments and ideas. I think I threw some of them in the chat, but it was the whole thing we were talking about, public education and these standards. I think I put the links for the standards and stuff in the chat too. But there was a,
Thank you. I
had
saw
a couple questions. How they organize that out over there, and what percentage would you say of the kids really do get to really sort of not, I don't want to say escape, I would say just finish their education, bring back skills, how there's a lot of brain drain in these countries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Could you hear her, Michelle?
Here in Congo, if you are successful at school, that means that you went all the way to the 6th level, so 6th grade. Okay. Anyone who goes beyond that to 10th grade, then they're probably going to be university bound. It's probably between about 8 and 10% of students that actually make it all the way to the university level. When to give you some perspective too, when Congo declared independence in 1960, there were exactly 3 people in the entire country that had a college education.
Oh my God.
So, they've come a long ways from 3
Massively.
people to 10%. But it is difficult. Most parents will send their kids to school if they can send them to school. They send them to school no further than the 6th level. A lot of kids drop out around the 3rd level. If they're not performing well, if their parents don't think that they're doing well, they pull them out of school because you have to pay for school here. So,
Yeah.
Right.
and they're like,
yes.
I'll put you to work. So you see a lot of
right?
kids. You see a lot of child labor here.
Good.
A lot of child labor.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That'd
So
be
fucked up.
because I think about, these places, the reason the UN has to be there is all of this, a lot of the brain drain, the people who would be there to be helping support, they don't leave any room. And this is why dictators like to tear down institutions of education first. They don't want an informed populace, and they do not want anyone to have a scientific knowledge beyond their own. They just don't. They don't want anybody to be smarter than them. And that's a really
Africa as a continent also is starting way behind a lot of other continents because of slavery. When they began stealing people from Africa, at that time, histories and knowledge was passed down verbally. And so they broke that. And so as horrible as it was to steal a human being and enslave them, my personal opinion is that the worst atrocity that happened to the continent of Africa was that knowledge was stolen and broken. And, with most African countries not.
Oh my. Oh, I can't even fathom the depth of things we have lost to history because the
not getting their independence until the 1960s or the technology is helping with that.
Oh shit.
Oh,
she froze, but she's back. She's back.
Oh, good. Because I can't see the chat. I can't see the thing. I'm just on my phone.
It's a brilliant woman on the line, by the way. You folks up. This is Mark P, by the way.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah. I found him. You're stranded in paradise over there in Capitola.
And some other inside baseball. I get to hear what Elizabeth writes. She verbalizes it, and then a few seconds later, I see it in the damn chat. It's just so fucking fascinating to watch her brain work.
Thank you, Mark. That was very nice. That was very kind of him.
Aw.
Yeah.
I just speak the truth.
Yeah, that was very nice, Mark. Okay. Well, I think there's a lot of brilliant people in this whole thing, so that's so wonderful that it's appreciated. So.
Thanks, Wizzy. Thanks, Mark. I'm so glad you guys are hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, so I just had a lot of questions, and I could take up more than my 5 minutes, and I don't want to, so I'm out of here.
All right, honey. Thanks
All
for
right.
calling.
We love you.
Love you, Wizzy Buff.
Oh, so good to hear your voice and to see you guys. And yeah, I'll be back in the chat in a minute. Bye.
Okay, honey. We'll see you.
Thank you.
Bye, baby.
Bye-bye.
Hey. So that was our surprise of our 2 chatters and 2 of our mods who are actually in the same space and time right now.
Yeah.
And they shared the same phone call.
Yeah. That's so fun.
They didn't have to call in separately of each other. Technology, eh?
Well, when we got people from all over the country, I'm in Michigan, you're in California, she's in the Congo. We've got people in North Carolina. We've got East Coast
Viking
in the
is
house.
in South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina.
We're everywhere.
Yeah, we
we're
got
we're
everybody.
wide.
Let's shout out
We're
where
everywhere.
you guys are from. I really love to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Canada,
Tell us where you're from.
Toronto.
We got Nick Rich in Toronto.
Nice. So we had another country, and if Steve was here, we'd have Scotland. You got Montana in the house.
Sweet.
We have generally we have a Hawaii as well.
Yeah, Adam's from Hawaii.
Yep. Adam's from Hawaii.
Yeah. Canada seems
2 more minutes till
Texas.
4:20, guys. Let me heat my banger up.
Texas. Texas.
Can't do a damn without a banger.
Nevada.
Illinois.
I know. Mom's is from Florida. Jupiter Judy. Yep. Well, she lives.
If
in
you're
Florida.
ever down in Texas, look
Southern
me up.
Illinois.
I'm going to do that, Jackie. If I should ever happen to be in Texas for any reason whatsoever, I'm going to make sure you're on my route through the state.
One of my favorite bands is from Texas.
I've only been through Texas. I've never stayed in Texas.
Which
'cause
band?
It takes so long to get through Texas. Fuck, that's a big state.
Which band, Michelle?
I'm a really big fan of this band called Caringbung.
Okay. I never heard of
And they have an album called Texas Sun and an album called Texas Moon. And it's like kind of funk. It's got a lot of funk overtones to it. A lot of
Southern
guitar.
Illinois.
Yeah,
They play
you'd like
funk
it. I
in
think you'd like it.
Texas.
So
I'm from Detroit, so if it's funky, you know what I mean? If it's funky, it's got to be real funky.
yeah.
Where are you, Dean? Where are you, Dean?
I think he said.
I've had the pleasure of meeting Bicycle Mike and getting dabbed the fuck out. I've met a couple of people from
Call
in
from
real life.
SPYKIN.
Hi, Spikin.
Oh, Spikin.
Spiken!
Hello, ladies.
Hello,
Hi,
darling.
ladies. How are you?
Good to hear your voice.
I just wanted to say thank you, Benny and Diane, for spotlighting Michelle and introducing all of us to her. And my question for Michelle is, what is one thing that has happened in your area of the world since the last time we had you on that we should know about? Because it may not make it over the pond to reach us. And I'm going to hang up and listen on the Zoom.
Well, and Spy,
I
wait,
love you
hold on,
guys.
Spy, don't hang up yet, because Tony
Okay,
owes
don't
you
hang
an
up yet.
apology for the coffee cup, and then I come to find out he also sent you a T-shirt, so it might be coming in the mail. So he's like, I sent her a T-shirt, I got her both.
Awesome. Okay, well, I will reply
think
my
it-
Tony from this morning.
Okay,
Tony.
I love you guys.
I love you too.
Love you too,
Bye.
honey.
Um,
Maine, Texas.
I mean,
okay.
yeah, I mean, addressing her question, I mean, there hasn't been much change going on lately, other than the military trials for the coup has started.
Right.
But in my personal life and what's been going on in Goma, I did take a trip to one of the IDP camps recently. I went out to Balengo. I was out in that camp about 5 months ago and then went out last week to it. We were doing some programming with some of the former child soldiers that have relocated to that camp. And it was a really good day, but it's become very obvious that these camps are becoming more and more permanent. And one of the things about IDP camps and refugee camps is that once people are in them for so long, the likelihood of them going back to their villages becomes really low because they become established here. They get their kids in school, they start businesses, and so it's looking more and more like we're probably going to have a whole nother quarter added onto our city. And that's how we've gotten the last few quarters. That quarters are like neighborhoods, but they're big.
Right.
And so they're being added onto the city again
Because
and
of
of
all the refugees.
There's no end to this war right now. It does not appear to be ending anytime soon. So it's just looking more and more like we are no longer an actual. I've been telling people we're a city of 2 million, but we have 1 million refugees right now. Well, over the next few months to a year, it's probably just going to switch over to we are a city of 3 million. And that's how our city has grown, is from all these refugees from all the wars.
Right.
So it's just over and over and over again that we have to just add more people to our city. And our city is strained. The water systems are strained. When you go from a city of 750,000 people in 2012 to now 3 million people, that puts a strain on the
whole
infrastructure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. In 2012, when M23 attacked the city the last time, that's the rebel group that we're fighting currently. The city was 750,000 people. Now there are 3 million people. So a little over 10 years.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot. And your infrastructure will fold underneath that many people. There's no way.
And our infrastructure is rubbish. It's not like we have a government that invests in things. We have a failed government. We have really, our infrastructure is already rubbish. We have very few tarmac roads or paved roads. Most of those were privately done. We do have a public water system that water does come to your houses, but that only goes into certain parts of the city. And then the rest of the city, they have to go to these public taps where they fill up water bottles, the jerry cans, and carry them to their houses. And our power grid is ridiculous. So I cannot believe it. I have had power the entire time we have been on tonight.
Only one
that
time.
That is the first time I have had power the whole time.
Yep.
Usually I'm working off of my backup battery. And
God damn it, man.
And I'm like, I've actually had power tonight. It's amazing. So
it's all this extra energy that we're passing through. So
I don't know. They decided to bless us this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just never know with our power grid. It could go out at any moment. So there's no schedule. There's no warning. You just have light or you don't. That's it. So
one or the other. No, it's just an amazing experience to get to know you and to know how things are going there and how different it is and how we shouldn't take for granted all the things that we have. And again, we went through the whole voting thing, and that's one of the things that a lot of Americans take for granted is their vote. When you have to drive 4 hours one way and stay overnight, it's hundreds of dollars for you to do this. It's insane just for you to vote. But because you're there and literally it's really fascinating, and I find it.
But because it's so important, you do that. You make the accommodations,
I will make the accommodation, and I will do it, and it'll probably, I'll probably be carrying other people's ballots as well that can't make the trip. We'll organize. We'll have a meeting. People will drop off ballots, and there will be a group of us that decide, hey, let's go to Kigali for the weekend, have a good weekend, and drop off our ballots, and let's go vote. So,
there you go.
it'll be a little bit of a weekend away. But it does cost us a lot of money. The other thing is that when Americans, when I was in the U.S., I heard this over and over and over again, where people were like, we're going to have a civil war. We're going to have a civil war. You do not want that. I live in a war zone. It is horrible. It is destructive. It is violent. It is deadly. It's not a game. It's not a video game. It's not a movie. It's not a television show. This isn't this. This is not what you want. That is not the last. The resort that you want to go to. That you want. There are other ways of dealing with the differences that people have in America without saying, "Oh, we need to have a civil war." Well, that is ridiculous and immature. It also tells me that that Americans don't really understand war. No, they don't understand how ugly and brutal and destructive.
No, they've been living in a lap of luxury their whole lives and don't even fucking realize it.
Yeah, because nobody wants what we go through here.
No.
You have Donald Trump saying though, if he doesn't get reelected,
in a secure place with guards, and I am afforded the ability to be able to live comfortably within this war zone. But I have PTSD. I have problems.
Yeah.
I've had people try and attack my gate. I've had people try and attack my car. So I've been caught up in gunshots going different directions. I've been nearby when grenades have gone off. So some of my projects have had damage from rocket launchers. It's not a game, and it's not fun.
It's not fun.
You've got Donald Trump saying here that if he does not get reelected, there will be bloodshed. He is making that. He's stochastically they're like, now they want bloodlust. Now you have his constituents saying, when can we get our guns and start shooting people? Literally, you've got people saying that at rallies.
Why? That's what I go back to. Why would any of this be worth destroying somebody's life, including maybe your own? Why would a difference of opinion, a difference of politics, that's not worth,
because Donald Trump violence. Donald Trump has made them literally bloodthirsty now.
Yeah, I don't get it. They need to all come over here and hang out for a few weeks. I'll go put them in some IDP camps, see if they really want a civil war then. Because that's pretty much, we don't have a true civil war, but we have rebel groups running around causing wars. And so, but you don't want that. That is not what you want. You do not want to live in an IDP camp. You do not want to live in a city that you have to evacuate. In 8 years' time, I have done 5 evacuations. Evacuations are stressful. They're expensive. You have to leave your house behind. You have to leave your animals behind. You have to leave most of your things behind. You don't want to do that. That is not where you want to go. No. So it is not a good idea. Not a good idea, people. Don't do it.
We just have to vote.
Highly unrecommended. Less than 1 star. Less than 1 star, people.
Did you see what I just did over here? I just dropped the Major Agenda's link in the chat.
Yeah.
I want you to go over there and do a hashtag Benny and Diane cast raid in his chat. Hit his thumbs up, bump up his algorithm, and then come back here. Take you 2 seconds.
Okay.
This is how we roll on YouTube.
Hold on, where's my... I really do not
This is
like
how
your
we
fucking
roll.
mouse, Tony.
This is how we help people with their numbers. It's important.
Yep.
If people don't share you and you don't bump up their channel, like watch a video once in a while, if you miss the live stream, make sure and watch it. If somebody you watch often and you miss the live stream, make sure to watch it again.
I'm over here right now.
Yeah, I don't always catch the live streams of Hal or you guys, but I try to go back in and watch them. So.
Okay, let me see here. If I can type in the Major's chat.
Okay, I'm doing it right now. And I'm putting a bunch of dancing ladies so you can see it. All right, now I'll go back to us. No, it's gotta be approaching 3 in the morning. It's 2:30 in the morning there for you, Michelle. So
I'm winding down here with my beers and tequila night, and getting up at 5 a.m. and
I understand if you want to go. You know, I mean, we've been on for 2.5 hours, and with all the tequila,
we're hogging the internet again.
Yeah,
my tequila's run out at this point. And I'm on water now. Okay. So.
Well, you gotta hydrate after you know.
Yeah.
Ingest alcohol. It's a smart thing to do. It's what's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I read something that it was talking about a new trend called zebra striping with drinking, and I was like, what is this? I mean, anytime somebody says, you know, it's actually zebra, but you guys wouldn't understand that word. But you know, and I was like, what? Let me read this. And what it is drink alcohol, then drink some water. And I was like, anybody who's a good alcoholic already knows that. We already know to do that. So this is not a new trend. No. This is not something new.
No.
We got this.
Just because you gave it a cute little zebra name.
Night, of course.
Just because you did a little zebra name doesn't mean, you know, you got to give it a name now.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It's ridiculous.
Not new.
So
I was hoping it was like some kind of cool shot or something.
Right, No, not a cool shot. No, can't do that. Just drink water, idiot.
I can't do that. I can't. If I drink alcohol, I can have one drink and that's it. That's all I need.
Right.
That's it. I'm done. I get totally inebriated immediately. Yeah. Like as soon as the alcohol gets on my tongue, I can feel it.
I've watched her do it. It's hilarious. I saw her do a Jello shot, and I thought she was gonna pass out. So,
oh my God, a Jello shot.
One Jello shot. I'm like, one
derp. Just like just forget about it. It was so funny. Michelle, thank you so much again. It's always good to talk to you. And we're gonna try to keep doing this every other week. So we'll be off next week, but we'll try to do it the following Friday. So
because next weekend I will be in Rwanda for the weekend.
Okay.
So even though they're responsible for the war, there's still reasons that we have to go over to Rwanda. So I have work. I have to go work for the weekend in Rwanda. So
okay. Well, be safe in your travels.
I can't say I envy you, honey.
I know.
It'll be kind of nice. It's different there. It's an authoritarian dictatorship, but it's like the polar opposite of living here, and so it'll be really quiet. It's super clean. Everything's orderly. Everybody drives on the proper side of the road. They use their blinkers. They stop at stop signs. Like and so for a couple of days you go over there and you reorganize in your brain what is normal, what actually is kind of normal. That way when you get back over here, you can appreciate the absolute anarchy that we live in.
Yeah, I can dig it.
You're like, I missed this. I miss just being able, that green light doesn't mean go, or that red light doesn't mean stop. Everything is just a suggestion here. So
that's like Argentina. Driving in Argentina, oh my God, it was the scariest thing ever. But the lines and the lights are a suggestion. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're suggestions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if there's police standing there, then you follow the rules.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because absolutely. But any other time, it's just suggestive.
Yeah.
Everything's suggestive. And yeah, so, after a while of being here, long term and over time, everything here, the anarchy, the chaos, it all becomes the normal. So it's good to go out for a few days, realize that, we don't actually live in normal. We live in absolute chaos.
Yeah.
But also you kind of enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I missed this.
Yeah.
I missed it here. So.
Well, that's great, honey. And thanks again for hanging out with us. We really appreciate all your insight and all your knowledge and everything that you share with us, because it's really enlightening and
fascinating and enlightening.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it makes me appreciate living here more.
Well, I appreciate you guys too. Like I said, I appreciate the community, and I'm telling you, believe it or not, you're good for my mental health. You tell your therapist that I said that.
What therapist?
Penny,
I can afford a therapist.
Michelle said we're good for her mental health, Penny.
Yeah. Should I start talking to my basil plant that I'm desperately trying to keep alive? Hey, guess what?
So, all right. Well, you guys enjoy your afternoon, evening, night. I'm going to go join my cats in the pass out.
All right.
I'm going to go catch the wave.
Okay.
Go catch the
Love
wave.
you guys.
Love you too. Love you too.
Bye.
Thanks again.
Have a good one, babe.
So, Benny.
And away we go. Hey, Diane.
Yeah.
That was an excellent show today, Diane. I really
I know.
enjoy when Michelle comes on. She's such a plethora of knowledge.
It's so fascinating.
She gives me hope.
Yeah.
She says we're therapeutic. She's therapeutic as well.
I agree.
So it's a reciprocal thing.
To know, I'm going to be like, I know somebody who has to drive 4 hours one way to go vote. You're going to tell me you're not going to get off your fucking ass off the couch and go vote?
What's the matter for you, huh?
What's the matter, you? Benny, what you got going on for the rest of the day? Are you going to mess with your hair a little bit more? Or are you done for dyeing it blue for one time? I think it's good. Do you think it's good?
Don't be too nice. Yes.
I noticed that one of your hands is dyed blue.
No, is it really?
The other, yeah, it looked like
Are you
got
straight
some.
cold tripping, boo?
Okay, maybe I was cold tripping.
You straight cold tripping,
I think
boo.
I was cold tripping.
Blue's nice though.
I know. No, I like it.
I'm glad I finally achieved the color blue
that you
I
wanted.
was so yearning for.
Right.
I should have used that in the first place. But I wanted to try something new.
What are you going to do?
Not that again.
Not that again.
Seriously.
So.
Hold your water there, kiddo.
All right. Are we going to go jump over to Jedi?
That's what I want us all to do.
All
Let's
right.
go in there and say hi and goodbye to everybody because the show is very short. It's very short. So
you guys,
I'm going to try to talk him into fucking making it an hour-long show. He needs an hour. I need an hour of major energy.
Yes.
I really do. I really do. The Major is underwatched on YouTube. He's huge on Facebook apparently, but he doesn't really see the YouTube chat because I don't think he has a YouTube window open. He's just on Facebook.
I see what you
being
mean.
filmed with YouTube.
Okay.
See?
I get it.
Yeah. So, yeah. Hey, Diane and everybody in Chatland. I love you guys. And you know what? I'll totally see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Thank you guys so much, everybody in the chat. Have a good Friday night and peace out.
Let's go to the majors. Let's go to the majors.
We're going over to the majors.
Let's do it.
All right. Have a good one, guys.